Okay. So perhaps just let me know if there's anything that you're here for, whether it's something you're looking to work through emotionally or physically, and I will do my best to include that as part of your practice. Yeah, so you feel free to just pop it in the chat if that's something that you feel like sharing. Otherwise, I will just begin and I will keep my eyes peeled peeled for the chats. Yeah. All right. So we'll come into a seated position. Feel free to be on a block, a blanket, or some sort of a prop. We'll start with a basic breathwork practice to begin. And the breathwork practice is something called Nadi Shodhana, which is alternate nostril breathing. We'll do this for around about a minute, so not too long. The intention here is to balance the left and the right hemispheres of the brain so that we can commence our practice from a place of balance and harmony. So your left hand will rest on the top of your thigh. You can either turn the palm up if you're looking for some inspiration this morning, or if you're looking for some grounding, turn the palm down onto the thigh. And with the right hand, take your first two fingers, the index finger and the middle finger, and place it onto the third eye. And then use your ring finger and your thumb to open and close the left and right nostrils. Alright, so as you breathe out completely, let go of both nostrils. And as you breathe in, close the right nostril with your thumb and breathe in through the left nostril. And out the right nostril. In through the right. Out the left. In the left. And out the right. In the right. And out the left. One more round in the left. Out the right. In the right. And out the left. Letting that breath practice go, dropping the right palm now to your right thigh. Notice what you notice, feeling what you feel. Perhaps using this as an opportunity to set an intention for your practice this morning. Something you're looking to experience. Perhaps a way you'd like to show up, not just on your mat, but in your life as well. You can open your eyes whenever you're ready. Find child's pose at the back of your mat. Knees either wide apart or close together. Whatever feels good for you this morning. Knowing that if the knees are close together and the belly lands onto the thighs, you'll probably feel a little bit more of a stomach and digestive system massage. So this is my preferred child's pose, but feel free to open the knees nice and wide and let the chest hang in between the knees. Take 3 rounds of breath here. Breathe into the back body. If it feels uncomfortable to have your head not grounded, then I suggest placing your hands one palm on top of the other so that you have sufficient support for the forehead. One more round of breath here. If your arms are not yet extended, please do so now. Extended child's pose. Spread your hands nice and wide. Knuckles, pads, and the palms of the hands all pressing down firmly. Your elbows are stretched. And then rock forward onto all fours. Maybe you need to bring your hands a little bit closer towards your knees so that the hands are directly underneath the shoulders and the hips are directly on top of the knees. So you're on all fours. Take a deep breath in and stretch through the belly. Lift the chest up, gaze up to the sky. And as you breathe out, round through the spine, tuck the chin in, stretch through the back body. 3 more rounds of cat and cow, going at your own pace, in your own breath, and at your own time. Exhaling as you find a stretch. Two more rounds. Maybe each round can bring in a deeper breath. Last breath in. Maybe a slight suspension at the top of the breath where you hold the pose. And then a breath out, holding at the bottom of the breath, suspending the pose as well. And then find a neutral spine. Bring your knees directly underneath your hips if they weren't there before. Extend your left leg behind you. Toes are on the ground. Heel is pressing back, stretching through the calf of the left leg. So your hands are pressing down. I can't stress this enough. The knuckles and the pads of the hands spread wide and pressing down. This is going to bring some tension in through the arms, but it will also save your wrist crease. So there's no pressure on through the wrist crease. The pressure is through the palm of the hand. Press back into that heel as much as you can to get a nice juicy stretch. And then rock your shoulders over your fingertips and gently lift the left leg up so that it is in alignment with the hip. Press the right shin bone down, spread the right toes wide so that there's pressure moving downwards even though the left leg is lifting up. And if this is enough for you this morning, then stay right here. But if you're looking for something a little bit more and you feel stable in through the body, then gently walk your right hand forward ever so slightly, reaching to the front of the mat. If that's enough for you, stay here. Or if you'd like a full challenge, you can raise your right arm so that the bicep wraps around the ear, chin is tucked, back of the neck is long. Breathe in and hold for 3 rounds of breath. Notice what happens when you're asked to hold a pose. Where does the mind go? How does the breath feel? One more breath. Pressing down to lift up. Chin's tucked so the back of the neck is open. Push the shoulders out of the ears. And then bring your hand and your knee down to the earth and release. Shake it out if you need. Again, hands pressed down, you're on all fours. Extend your right foot back behind you this time, pressing into the heel of the right foot, stretching through that right calf muscle. This time the left shin bone pressing down, the left toes spread wide, and you've got this pressure backwards into the back of the leg, as well as downwards through the front of the shin. Hold here for one more breath. And then rock forward, shoulders over fingers. Lift your right leg up this time so that the foot is in alignment with the heel. Now notice whether the whole body is moving to the side, and if so, see if you can bring it in towards the center and roll the right hip down. Holding here if this feels good for you. If you want a bit more, walk the left fingertips forward to the front of your mat and hold here. Or if you're looking for a little bit extra, reach the left hand, with the bicep wrapping around the left ear and hold here for 3 rounds of breath. If you're finding it difficult to concentrate this morning, perhaps constricting through the back of the throat for Ujjayi breathing, the victorious breath. It's really helping you come back into the present moment. One more round of breath. Stay for the exhale. And release your hand and knee to the mat. Tuck your toes under, send your hips back towards your heels. Walk your hands forward, one paw print. Press into your arms a lot. Extend through the front body, extend through the spine, and lift up into downward facing dog. Bending the knees as much as you need to for now. Maybe even pedaling out the legs. Long spine. Your ears in between your biceps for downward facing dog. Wonderful. And once you've moved a little bit, maybe come into some stillness. Notice how your downward facing dog feels this morning. Does it feel slouchy, tired, or does it feel energized? There's no right or wrong. It's just really about noticing what it feels like. Take one deep breath in here, and as you exhale, breathe out through the mouth. Again, breathing in through the nose, sighing it out. Third time lucky, breathing in through the nose. Good. From now on, keep your mouth closed, breathing in and out through the nose only. Walk your feet towards your hands. Have your feet hip distance apart. Come up onto the fingertips, lengthen through the spine, halfway lift, inhaling. Exhale, fold, maybe bend in the knees. Uttanasana. One more round, breathing in, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, reach up, look up, stand up tall, reaching your arms nice and high, and then exhale, fold into Uttanasana again. Inhale, lift and lengthen, halfway lift. Exhale, extend your left leg back. Find a low lunge, dropping your left knee to the earth, untucking your left toes. Now here it's very easy to sink down in your hips. We don't really want that. We want to press into the front foot a lot, lifting up through that front thigh. Pressing again into the left shin bone, just like you did earlier, and breathing in as you lift up, arms up overhead, or if you'd like something a little bit different today, you can interlace your hands behind your back, press your palms together, and open up through the fronts of the shoulders. 3 rounds of breath here. Breathing in to lengthen, breathing out to soften. Notice where in your body do you feel the breath the most right now. One more round of breath. And then release your arms wherever they are. Hands to the mat. Tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee. Press your right foot to meet your left. Hold in a plank position for 1 round of breath. Drop your knees as you exhale. Reach your shoulders over your fingers, untuck your toes, and in one beautiful long line, lower your belly down to the ground. Inhale, roll your shoulders back and down. Press the tops of your feet down, lengthen through the legs, and open up through the chest for Bhujangasana, Crowbar pose. Exhale, release. 3 more rounds here. With every breath, in, you open up and you lift. With every breath out, you release and let go. 2 more rounds in your own breath, in your own time. Really allowing the breath in to squeeze the back body, invigorate the kidneys and the adrenals, and opening up through the chest and waking the body up. And after your 3rd round, press into your hands, reach your chest up, Come up onto your hands as you press your hips back, tuck the toes under and press into downward facing dog. One deep breath here. Long breath out. Walk forward towards your hands. Halfway lift as you find a hip distance with your feet. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up, reach up, stand tall. And then exhale, swan dive back down. Uttanasana, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, fingers on the earth. Exhale, fold, step your right foot back this time. And then drop the right knee ever so slightly so that it presses into the mat. Good. Untuck the back toes. Now pressing the right shin down. Again, we're not sagging into the legs, we're not looking for a stretch here. We're really starting to invigorate through the legs, so pressing down through the front foot a lot. And then as you press into the back shin a lot, there's the pressing down to lift up. Option to keep your arms nice and tall, or if you'd like, interlace your hands behind your back again. This time the fingers in the unco way, the way you would normally. And as you stretch through the arms, you're lifting your hands up off your butt. And if this is too much on the fronts of the shoulders, then that's okay. You can bend through the elbows and open up through the chest without putting any pressure on the shoulders. One more breath. Long breath out. Release your hands onto either side of that left foot. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee. Press your hands down a lot. And then step your left foot back to meet your right for a plank pose. Drop your knees. Now you're going to pivot your right foot to the right of the mat. Feel free to look at me first if this is confusing. And you're going to find a side plank. Right? You're always going to try and keep the hips underneath or the hips above the knee. And find the shoulders squared, stacked. Reach your top arm, your left arm up to the sky. And flex your left foot a lot. If you're looking for a little bit extra this morning, lift your left foot up to the sky. You're going to feel this in through the side of the hip. Again, you're pressing in through that right shin, making sure that you're grounding down to lift up. One more round of breath. Stay for the exhale. And then come back onto all fours and press into plank pose. Holding for one round of breath. Abdominals on, pelvic floor in and up. And release your knees down. Pivot on the left foot. Reach your right hand up to the sky now. Flex your right foot. Option to stay here or lift the right foot up towards the sky and hold. If you're experiencing any shaking, just know that this is life force, prana, moving through the body. What a wonderful reminder. Make sure you keep your breathing consistent, soft, and release. On all fours, one more round of plank pose. Tuck the toes under, press into your heels, lift the knees up if that feels good for you. Holding for 3, for 2, and 1. Drop the knees, sit back into child's pose, extend the arms nice and long. Hold here for one round of breath. And then gently come up to seated. Now you're sitting up onto your heels. Spine nice and long, reach your right arm up to the sky. And take a gentle twist over to your left with the right hand on the outer edge of that left knee. And then you can take your left hand and either wrap it around your lower back or find a place on the floor behind you to use as a second spine, really twisting and opening up through the heart space. As much as you're thinking of twisting left, think about drawing the left hip forward. And so there's this beautiful opposing action happening here. Take one more breath. And take your gaze forward and then untwist. Left arm reaches up. Take your hand to the other side of your right leg. Breathe in to lift and lengthen and breathe out to twist to the right. Right hip now draws forward. Shoulders draw to the right. Deep breath in through the belly, allowing the exchange of air to really massage the organs in the abdominal and the chest cavity. As you're releasing, your head comes first and then your body releases forward. Interlace your hands, press them forward, round through the spine, tuck the chin in. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, look straight ahead. Keep your hands interlaced and relax your elbows so that they're bent. Bring the hands to the lower part of the skull. The elbows are nice and wide. Stay exactly where you are. I'm just going to turn to face you so you can see. And you're opening up through the chest, leaning your head back into your hands and opening through the front of the shoulders. Such a beautiful pose for the slouching over technology, driving, picking up the kids. One more breath here. And then release to come out of the pose. Keep your elbows where they are. Just drop your chin. That's the only thing that's changed is that the chin is now dropped to the chest. And now with your chin lowered to your chest, drop your elbows now so that they're almost kissing, meeting one another. You may want to bring the hands just above the nape of the neck, so resting on the back of the head. And now just gently move your head from side to side with the weight of the arms resting on the back of the head. If at all unsure, then just come out of the pose and have a look to see what I'm doing. And all I'm doing here is using the weight of my arms to open up through the back of the neck by rolling my head from side to side. Massaging through the back of the neck. One more round. And then come back to center. Keep your hands where they are. Just take your gaze up straight ahead, elbows wide, and then release the grip of the fingers. Let your hands rest by your side. Close your eyes here. And notice how your body feels. What do you feel? If at all. Notice if you feel different, if any part of the body feels different. Again, you don't have to feel anything, it's just an inquiry. And then take a seat. You can open the eyes as you roll onto your butt. Extend the legs nice and long. And then come into a pose called Pashi Montanasana. Your legs are long, your feet are extended. Now your heels are actually pressing down into the ground. But for me, I have blisters on the backs of my feet. So I'm not going to do the pose exactly like it should, but just know that your feet should be pressing down into the ground and that the legs should be so straight, so long that you've got activity in through the fronts of the thighs. If you have any conditions with the knees that you feel having them straight is just not comfortable, then you can take a folded up blanket or a prop and place them under the knees to find some softening through the back of the legs. which will ultimately soften through the back of the lower back as well. Take a breath in as you lengthen, and as you breathe out, fold over your legs. And allow the head to rest. One more breath here. We're not going to be here very long. This is a pose that is very calming to the nervous system. It's a pose that allows your nervous system to know that you're safe and that it is time to relax. And whilst it may not be time to relax for you, it's always a nice way for you to complete a practice, an asana practice. Inhale to come up and out. Take your left foot, place it on the inner edge of your right thigh. Flex through the right foot. Breathe in as you lift and lengthen. Breathe out as you fold over the right leg for Janu Shirshasana. The idea here is you've got head to knee pose, chest directly over the right leg, flexing through the right foot if that feels comfortable for you. One breath here as you stretch through the inner right thigh. Inhale to come out of the pose. Switch sides. Right foot now to the inner left leg, inner left thigh. Breathing in to lift and lengthen. Breathing out to fold. One breath. Inhale to come out of the pose. And to end with today, instead of a Shavasana, because we haven't been practicing for that long, I want to encourage you to find a seat where you can just find a brief meditation where you allow the practice to settle in your body. If you do have longer this morning and you're not in a rush to get up after 2 minutes, then feel free to lie down. Set an alarm for yourself. Maybe 10 minutes is always such a beautiful way to end an asana practice. But if you don't have that luxury this morning, then just sit, long spine. See if you can feel the crown of the head reaching up. Breathing in patience. Breathing out patience. Breathing in kindness. Breathing out kindness. Breathing in love. Breathing out love. In gratitude. And out gratitude. And breathing in whatever it is that you set as your intention for today. And then breathing out that exact same thing. And do this for 3 more rounds of breath. Really breathing it into your body. And then giving it back to the world. Letting it move its way through your entire being. And then gifting it back to the space around you. 2 more rounds of breath. One more round of breath. And an invitation invitation to bring your hands into prayer position at the front of the heart, thumbs pressing into the sternum, bow your head down towards your fingers. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for allowing me into your space. Thumb tips to third eye, thumb tips to lips, thumb tips to the heart space as we bow to one another. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a beautiful day. Beautiful day.
Thank you so much, Ariana. And the birds singing behind
Can
you were
you
just
hear them?
sing,
They're
just even more.
beautiful.
Yeah, you're just so peaceful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So much.
You're
Very
welcome.
good.
You're welcome. You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for practicing with me. Have a beautiful day. Alrighty.
Take care.
Dude.
Bye for now. Bye.